everyone, welcome to this update video. I really hope that you are doing good. Now we're going to be talking about what is going on across the North Atlantic basin. So there isn't a whole lot, but one of the main weather events that has been ongoing is these frontal systems coming out of the US, all this cold air coming down from the north, and that has been influencing the weather in the United States. In addition, for the Caribbean, it's been cooler for some of us, especially those of us in the north. We've been experiencing those cooler winds, and that's very much welcomed by many of us here. And we're going to be looking at the forecast as well, what is anticipated for the short term, and also La Niña was actually declared just a few days ago. And what does that mean? What could that mean for the hurricane season? So we're going to be taking a look at that in this video. Let's get on with the details. Alright, now we're looking at this surface chart marking the different weather features, and we've got a couple frontal systems out there. One has recently exited the United States. Another actually extends to the vicinity of the Caribbean and has been feeding in a little bit of moisture into some of the Lesser Antilles. A surface trough is also noted in the West Caribbean. Not a whole lot going on with it, but there has been some associated shower activity. So as we take a close look at the satellite imagery here, now this is the infrared weather satellite. So we're really just seeing all these patches of clouds, a bit of color towards the Pacific, but overall it is the dry season for the Caribbean. So it's not a time where we typically experience a whole lot of robust shower and thunderstorm activity. Whenever that does happen within the dry season, most times it is associated with some of these stronger frontal systems, but we can see those patches of clouds towards the Lesser Antilles as well, again with that front nearby, so that has been helping out to influence the weather conditions. Now in terms of the cooler air, now this is a look at the GFS forecast going into late today. We see these blue shadings. Now that is indicative of cooler than normal temperatures. The shadings such as yellows, orange, and red, those indicate warmer than normal temperatures. So we've got some cooler air still loitering for parts of the North Caribbean, more so the Greater Antilles, Bahamas, and even Bermuda out there. And even headed to the middle of the week, we can see that some of that cooler air is still expected to be loitering around the region. And in terms of the rainfall forecast, let's look at what is expected through tomorrow afternoon. So this is the forecast from Euro. And here we are seeing some of these green shadings. So not a whole lot of rainfall expected, maybe some downpours, couple stray showers around here and there. So across parts of Central America, including sections of Belize, Mexico, the Bay Islands, sections of Honduras, Nicaragua, especially in the east, going down to a few spots in Costa Rica, Panama, maybe for the islands of San Andreas, Providencia. There could be some passing showers, nothing crazy expected. Things make it a little bit more active for parts of Colombia, especially towards the Pacific coast, southern Venezuela, a couple spots in the Guyanas. As for the Lesser Antilles, Trinidad and Tobago, a few showers may pass by. And things may be a little bit on the drier side though for areas such as Grenada, Barbados, even to the ABC Islands as well. And then those passing showers coming in from the east or east-northeast due to the frontal system. So areas from Guadeloupe right down through Martinique and even near St. Lucia could experience some shower activity. Further north, it's going to be on the dry side. Same thing for the Virgin Islands, much of Puerto Rico, Hispaniola, as well as parts of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, much of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. As for Jamaica, a couple passing showers possible for sure, but overall we're not seeing a whole lot of color within the vicinity of the Caribbean. Again, dry season. This is not something unusual to see. Now, La Niña was declared just a few days ago, and that is essentially when sea surface temperatures are cooler than normal in parts of the equatorial Pacific basin. So ocean temperatures, when they're cooler than normal, that will greatly influence global weather, including the hurricane season. And what is the typical influence? Well, let's get on with it. Well, typically this is what happens. So here we can see this graphic depicting what normally happens when La Niña is present. So in the Eastern Pacific, because it's cooler and drier and there is a lot more vertical wind shear, essentially winds, opposing winds that interfere with tropical development. So that is more prominent in the Eastern Pacific. So we find that the Eastern Pacific hurricane season is normally not so active, typically near average or below average activity over there. Meanwhile, for the Atlantic, it is the opposite. So the wind shear is weaker, there is greater atmospheric instability, and instability is what really helps to fuel those showers and thunderstorms and, to get those generating. And that is a big boost when it comes onto the hurricane season, because that significantly amplifies those tropical waves as they come off of the African coast and head towards the west. So we tend to see more development during La Nina seasons. So with the La Nina being persistent right now, and even going to the early part of the hurricane season, then there's a pretty likelihood that we could see this upcoming hurricane season being a pretty active one. But there is a chance that we could have ENSO neutral conditions as we progress into the hurricane season. So there will be a lot to talk about, but there's also quite a bit of uncertainty as it pertains to what exactly will happen. I mean, the new year has literally just begun a couple of days ago, so we've got quite a long time. We've got several months before the official start of the 2025 season. But of course, I'll keep you posted as time goes by, and we'll be able to see what the trends are, what is expected. So I'll be keeping you guys posted as it pertains to that. But as of right now, again, we're in our dry season. It's cool for many of us. For others, maybe not a significant temperature difference, but it's definitely on the dry side for most islands of the Caribbean. And I will continue to keep you posted as necessary, guys. So just wanted to bring that to your attention. And that is essentially it for this update video. Now, I really do hope that you found it to be quite informative. However, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. I will get to you when I have the chance to do so. And remember to always be weatherwise.